I'm Steve Smith. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at LiveOak Fiber. I have been in telecom since 1997. September of '97, I joined this company called Quest in Denver. They spelled it weird. It was Q-W-E-S-T. I needed a job. And I got hired on in the, I was the 6th guy at Quest Wholesale. And they just changed the name. So that's how I got into telecom. I've been in it ever since. I had, started in the sales and marketing department for wholesale. And we were building fiber on railroads across the country. And I thought it was fantastic, but I didn't know what it meant. So I learned a lot about it. I ended up supporting, doing a lot of proposal response. That's how I learned about the business. So I would go all over the building and I would answer questions for RFP response. And that's how I learned about it. And the more I learned, the more I liked it. It was just like, but I would say I kind of fell into it. But Quest was a huge, well-funded startup. And at the time, this was 1997, there was, we were building fiber on the railroads. There was another company building fiber on the highways, level 3, and there was another company called Williams that was building fiber in the right-of-ways on utilities, natural gas. So it was a race. It was like the new rail barons, and I felt like I was on the best team. And we had all these, it was so fascinating. We built special rail cars that would build it, on the rail lines. So we'd have the fiber cable, and we'd have armature, and we'd dig. And anyway, it afforded me a chance to, I've lived all over the country for telecom. So I moved to Boston, and I ran, sales for Quest in Boston, and had a chance to, travel the country and the world, actually. So I've been in sales and marketing and product the entire time. I've supported salespeople, I've supported product people, I've worked with some phenomenal engineering people, and yeah, that's been my career, telecom. We had started a consulting company in 2015 called Ronin Technology Advisors, Jody and I, and we brought Rob on. And we primarily worked with service providers. So we would help companies that were looking to expand, looking to grow. We worked with companies that were looking to buy companies and merge them. And we had a lot of fantastic ideas. I thought they were fantastic, I think. But what happens a lot in consulting is you give great ideas, but people don't always want to go the full measure. And so what we wanted, we had opportunity, we were looking for an opportunity where we could take what we wanted to do and actually do it. We could actually do the full plan, not just kind of a half measure. And I think the other part that's key too is all the companies that we worked with before had existing infrastructure. They had people, they had networks, some were older, some were part new. This was a chance to start fresh and do everything that we want to do. And when you're fixing broken things, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to upgrade things. And I say things like processes, getting different groups to work together that haven't worked together before, mashing companies together, mashing networks together. That's a lot of work. This is a lot of work, but it's different because it's the canvas that we paint. There's going to be a live local person that's going to come to your house and help you make this work. We're not going to try to make the customer engineer some package to try to get, the result that they're looking for. We're going to give them bandwidth through the house, full coverage of the house. We're going to show them, we're going to give them a tool that makes it easy for them to prioritize their bandwidth and make all their applications run. That's it. It's really just, for some reason in the industry, I think they got off track and there's this layer of confusion for the customer, and nobody likes that. That's not how you buy things anywhere else. Why should it be in telecom? It should be dead simple, and you should see the reviews, and it should be as expected, as advertised. So, and the other thing about LiveOak is we're not. This isn't a remote outpost for a national company. We're not just a small sales group of a large company. We're a regional provider. We're a highly localized provider. We're hiring great local people. There's some people that we're bringing in that have some of the technical knowledge that we want, but we're hiring local people because that's what we want it to be. So that's different. That's different. We're not, like if you look at some of our competitors and you look at their Facebook page and their social, they're advertising to, maybe hundreds of markets around the country. We're not. We're talking to 2 counties, 5 cities. Like we are their internet service provider. People can get everywhere else in the country or at some of these other places. There was the railroad. Well, there was the river boats first, right? And then there was the railroad. And if you look on a map and you say, well, why are these towns here? They're there because they're on a river or they're near a railroad. This is the fourth utility. Broadband is, if you don't have this, you will be left behind. We want these communities are thriving anyway, but we want to add this component, this infrastructure, because they're great places to be. And after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, people were like, I'm reconsidering my job. I think I want to be able to live where I want, and I want to keep doing the job, or have a job where I can live where I want. If they don't have these capabilities, they can't come here. That means, actually, I think 1 in 4 workers in the United States are not going back to the office. They're going to pick where they live, and they're going to pick where they live based on, do they like it, and do they have broadband? Can they work from home? And if they don't have it here, they won't come here. We want them to come here. We want these places to continue to grow.